to the housing update for February 2025 for Southwest Florida. I'm here with
Randy Williams with TBF Mortgage.
And Mary Bartos. You guys know me from Premier Plus, the Bartos group. So let's just jump into it. Last month, we decided we were going to change it up a little bit, and I kind of liked it. So let's talk about the current market here in Southwest Florida. Randy, would you believe that there is 10.3 months of inventory in Naples?
Yeah, I think we expected it. I do believe it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy though, right?
Yeah.
When you think about that. But when you look at Naples and then you look at Marco, which is even more astoundingly at 10.8, Fort Myers at 9.8, and Cape Coral at 8.6, all of them have one thing in common, and that is a huge increase, right?
Yeah.
In inventory. Now, at the end of the day, homes are still selling. You know, we were talking about this on our team. Like, our listings sitting there longer? Yeah, they are. But buyers are still here. We kind of came after that election and then storm season, and then the light bulb turned on. So let's talk about close price year over year, the median, right? As you'll see, Naples is actually up by 8.5%. Not bad. Marco's down. It says on this 23.6, but it kind of wherever it's picking, again, we're recovering. You've got Fort Myers up at 5.6 and the Cape is down at 10.8. So, we do have some prices that have kind of fluctuated, but that could happen with what type of property is selling, how many are selling. It can really kind of sway it one way or another. Now, this is a slide that I love, Randy, because it talks about total showings per listing to a pending, and then how many showings per listing per month. So I'm just going to pick one of these markets, and for right now, I'm going to pick on Marco. 11.8 showings to go to a pending. So if we're not getting people walking through that front door, it takes us 11.8, which is an average to get somebody to go pending with it. But the bigger thing is if I'm only getting 3 showings a month, then I'm looking at 4 months, right? So it's really a good way to, if you're looking to sell or you have your property on the market, kind of start to do the math and see what's happening because, your price is probably just not there yet for the market. Now, when I look at homes for sale, Randy, look at this. You said something when we were going over the slides.
I think if you have to explain what this is, like right or wrong. When we do go into an election year, there's a bit of like a 2 to 3 month pause to kind of see which way we're going. That's going to impact inventory. It just is. So now as you're going into season down here too, that's going to impact inventory.
Absolutely.
So it's a little misleading going, hey, this is a huge buyer's market, which it is more than it was, 3 or 4 months ago. There's no doubt about it. But these numbers are a little misleading. 3 months from now, fast forward, we're going to get back to what we think is regular.
Well, inventory, we normally pick up inventory in October.
Yeah.
Then we pick it up in January, and then we pick it up after season, whether that's March or April. We just got pushed further to January because of what happened in the fall.
Correct.
Right? So the
storm as well.
And a storm. Yeah, not just one. We had a few.
Yeah.
Days on market. Now, I think this is a little misleading, Randy, because we're going to just kind of go along with that theme of Marco since I picked on it, the island last. This says 60 days on the market, and I'm going to, get it pending. I think that's a little longer. I just think it was the number of properties that were being sold, but they're all in that range, 60 and under for each one of our markets.
And the numbers don't lie. Except for I've been at open houses for the last 4 weekends in a row, all weekends long. And the amount of people coming into these open houses. And I had 2, we won both of them, but we had 2 multiple offers already again just last week. So I don't know. I think those numbers are a little bit inflated if you ask me.
Well, and I think they're a little deflated. So we got 2 different opinions on it because I think we are really longer than a 60-day market right now. When I look at the number, my own listings that are on the market that have been sitting, that I felt were a good price, but the market hasn't responded to it. So I think we're seeing more of that kind of inventory sitting long, hence 10 and a half months of inventory, or 10.3, 10.8. Now let's go into the national numbers. Check this out. So tell us what Dave Ramsey, what does he have to say about this?
Even though interest rates are still high, it's a great time to buy a house. The higher interest rates have priced some buyers out of the market, which means you can face less competition when you make offers. That's very true. Plus, if interest rates do eventually go down significantly, you can always refinance the rate. We've been saying that forever.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
And Dave has, if you've not followed him, he's got this phenomenal podcast, et cetera. And he's a guru when it comes to predicting and suggesting what things are the right things to do at the right time. So we always like to hear what he has to say. Why consider buying now, Randy? What are those three things that...
Yeah, always. And when mortgage rates are a little bit higher, you do have, in winter as well, you're going to have less competition.
And for us, that's in the summer, right? Because we're off, because, it's an off market, but still a great reason to buy now.
Yeah, and there's a lot of noise, fear and uncertainty. I mean, it's always out there. Most savvy buyers are going to take that as an opportunity, right? And they will.
Yeah.
Sellers who need to sell, more negotiating power.
Right. Sure. Better deals.
Yeah.
When I look at that and I see what Warren Buffett, oh my gosh, this man warms my heart, because I guess I'd like to do what he did and live a life like him. So read what Warren Buffett has said.
Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. Buy when there's blood in the streets, remember?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. He's got a lot of quotes that around the same theme, but if people are pausing, that's the time to jump in.
Yeah.
You're going to get a better deal, just everything about that. So unbelievable, Randy. What's the average homeowner with a mortgage now has how much?
Now has $319K of equity in their home, which $207K is actually tappable for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So to me, I was just at a lady's house this week and she had a little mortgage and she had, done some remodel in her home. So she'd taken out a little, what do you call those when a
home equity line?
Yeah, home equity. Thank you.
Yeah.
And when we look at what she's going to sell it for, it's almost 3x.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of equity in them there hills. But what is NAR Core Logic saying?
Nationally, average homeowner equity remains near a historic peak, which is $311,000. Over the past decade, the typical homeowner has accumulated over $200,000 in equity, solely from price appreciation.
Yeah.
A typical homeowner accumulated $147,000 in housing wealth in the last 5 years. For the third quarter of 2024, the average U.S. homeowner gained approximately $5,700 in equity.
And that's across the nation. I think from a standpoint, when you start to think about these numbers, it's staggering. Randy, when we used to move from house to house in a shorter period of time, we were moving like every 6 years. And what is it now? Yeah,
it's up to 10. I think a lot of people took advantage of some very low rates in that one little dip. And I think that's affecting that a little bit.
Yeah.
But nice home payments, nice housing payments.
Yeah, exactly. But it's interesting that, what was the stat we had? 74% of people that bought in those COVID years are dissatisfied with their home, which is kind of crazy. And don't quote me on that stat, but that's pretty close to what it was. And at the end of the day, we'll see if in the next year or so, if that number jumps down from 10 years to something different.
Yeah.
Wow, this is percent change in home prices. And if you look at the national average, it's 57.4%, Randy. Mm-hmm. Well, look at what Florida's been in the last 5 years.
Fantastic investment if you bought. Yeah.
So 74% has gone up. So way better than what's gone on nationally. And then if you look at 1991 to third quarter of 24, nationally, 321%. What's the Florida number?
In the last 33 years, it's up 450%.
I don't know about you, but I know my stocks don't do that well.
No.
You know what? Home is where the heart is. It also is a great asset for people. As a matter of fact, if you look at this again, and I know we've done this slide before, but people are sitting on tremendous equity. Look at mortgaged homes with equity of less than 50%. Is only 31.7% of people. And if I look at those that own their home free and clear, almost 40%. And those that have greater than 50%, we're looking at 29. Randy, what's our math?
Yeah, I mean,
16, almost 69%, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of
78. I do the math because I suck at it.
Well, what math are you actually?
39.3 and 29.
68.3% have paid off their mortgage or have at least 50% of equity. I mean, that's
68.3.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we're looking at. I mean, people are sitting on a ton of money. I think they're looking for an opportunity to take it out and use it and spend it wisely.
Yeah.
And real estate year over year is the safest place to be.
And, you know, it's funny that you say that because when Americans were polled their opinion, what is that best long-term investment? And 36% of them said,
oh, yeah, by far, real estate.
Absolutely.
It's the thing that most people understand. You got to go home somewhere every single day. And your neighbor is selling for way more than you paid for. I mean, it's a thing that you can see on a daily basis.
You can grasp it,
you
right?
can, yeah.
Versus stock market that you can't see.
It's a tangible
Bitcoin,
need for
like
people,
what?
right?
Don't even get me on Bitcoin because I don't even understand that.
Oh, we'll start a whole
thing.
Yeah.
So what is NerdWallet saying?
Yeah, many Americans are discouraged with the housing market, according to NerdWallet's 2025 homebuyer report, the ninth of its kind. Still, an ambitious share of Americans are ushering a new year with optimistic plans to buy a home.
Absolutely. And I think our very last slide we have is, Randy, how many people are expected, are planning to buy this year?
Higher percentage than in the last, 5 years, 15%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. We always kind of end with this. Is it the time to sell or buy?
I mean, the people that took advantage of those low rates, they were able to do it because they owned a home. Like at some point, until you own a home, you're not going to be able to take advantage of all of that wealth we just showed that people have, or the lower rates when they come up as well. If you had to buy with 3% interest rates, you often went way over asking price. Or if you already own the home, all you had to do was refi. So if you're in the home, that's the best position to be in long term.
Yeah. So if it's the right time for you to buy that second home or move because you've got diapers or diamonds or all the 7 Ds of whatever they are, come talk to us, whether you're looking to get a mortgage with Randy or you're looking to buy or sell. We at the Bartos Group can help you do that. And again,
Randy Williams, TBF Mortgage.
And Mary Bartos, the Bartos Group of Premier Plus. We look forward to seeing you here in paradise, buying or selling.